Hello and welcome to This Week in Frax. Myself, Sam McCullough. I'm also joined by Kiet and Finanças Descentralizadas Dave is joining us from Brazil. Welcome.
Yes. Boa noite, caras, amigos, amigas. Mi nome Dave de Decentralized Finance.
And also Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everyone.
First TWIF in the new year.
I know.
Lots to celebrate.
Lots to celebrate and lots to review. So let's dive right in. We had even more bull posting. Sam's on like bull posting. He's like in his bag, right? Like, let me just bring this up.
He's in his feelings.
Exactly. Like that Tran said, "Win 100, sir," and Sam Kaz said, "This year?" ? Thoughtful face, and this is like new levels of bull posting that we're releasing. Sam's really getting on it. I think he's really excited about Fraxchain, aka Fraxel, which is coming, and we're all on board at this point.
When somebody said when 100 and he said this year,
yeah,
that's new levels of bull post.
Oh God.
It's not like devs do something. Like devs are doing something.
Exactly. Yeah. So it was. We're just like reaching new heights, right? I think Sam's like very positive for what's to come in the next few months because they've come out of the cave and they're finally about to push out like Fraxel and BAM, FXBs, and everything.
God, I feel so underexposed.
Did FXBs get released?
Not yet. Not yet.
Oh, not yet.
Yeah.
What are they testing?
I don't know. I can't tell you. But they're not released yet. And so yeah. So let's this got a little messed up. So yeah, so we also had some other things that happened this week. The big topic inside of the Telegram chat was the FPIS-FXS merger. People are starting to think about what that would look like and what that's going to mean for both FPIS and Frax shares holders.
What do you guys think it means?
I think the general narrative is that it's going to happen, but the real question is like, what price does FPIS come back in? And so that's one camp, right? That's like the positive camp. There's another camp that's like FPIS is just good as is. We don't need to reintegrate the token. We should just leave it as is and let it continue to run. Smaller camp, but those voices are out there. So the pricing I've seen has been like generalized consensus on Telegram of like whatever the FPIS price is plus another 20%. So FPIS I think is trading at $1.20 today, so that would be like $1.30, $1.40.
I could see it maybe 3x what it is like for for every 3 FPIS, 1 FXS.
Well, if it's $1.40 and they're rating it against $9 of FXS, then that's 6.5 per FPIS.
Yeah, pretty good.
It's pretty good, and I would happily take that. Get locked into FXS for FXS for another 4 years, because I think that'll be the way to go. Is that FPIS gets brought back in, and then just the FPIS gets converted into FXS with similar locks, and the FPIS that's floating can just be swapped out, or maybe airdropped or something.
I feel like, how would that work? I feel like the FPIS would have to be unlocked for FPIS.
I don't think so. I think you just convert it. You just do a one-to-one conversion or whatever sort of the conversion is from FPIS into FXS.
As an unlock, or how do you do that with the lock?
Well, your locks just get transferred over. So if you have like a lock that's opening from 4 years from now, you would just get a new FPIS distribution that's 4 years from now. I don't know. Maybe it has to go to a new address. I'm not sure. There's probably a lot more technical mechanics in here that we're not thinking about.
We're gonna find out within the next 3 weeks.
Yeah,
3 weeks.
I'm not even looking at the token effect. I'm looking at like what happens to the treasury effect.
Because remember, Nothing's gonna happen to the FPIS treasury. It's the FPIS token.
Mm.
Well, isn't it going to be merged into kind of like the whole bucket now? Like it's going to move from the FPIS balance sheet onto the FXS balance sheet, even though
Yeah.
nothing moved in the treasury, but the balance sheet like allocation goes now to FXS. So that's a nice 4 or 5 mil in equity bump that we just got. And our equity buffer is only like 60 mil, right? Last I checked. So it's like a
you're
nice
right.
10% bump.
You're right. That would add another percentage point towards the percentage point or two towards the collateralization ratio.
CR. Correct.
Yeah.
A good point.
Because we're at 96. We're almost at 96% CR.
Yeah.
So like if another 5 million coming in from FPIS, that would add it to the treasury. That's pretty significant. We might go up to 97.
Yeah, so that's another 5% bump because right now we have a balance, meaning our equity portion of Frax, the stablecoin, is 80 million. So with another 4 or 5 million from the excess from FPIS, it's gonna give us another 5% bump. So
wow,
pretty solid.
Great. That's great.
Yeah,
that's awesome actually.
Alpha
soon.
So I think at the end of the day, there was just a lot of back and forth in the Telegram this week, commenting on what's going to happen with FPIS. I think people are just waiting for some sort of proposal to come to really formally start the discussion. Okay, so let's talk about mining or about validation, right? So this week we got a brand new dashboard called timing.pix. Which was released. This was made by Tony Warstatter. And essentially this shows the timing dashboard that when LSDs are essentially choosing the slot when they want to be, how many seconds in slot they want to be before they start firing off transactions or validating transactions, and how many missed slots they have. And the idea here is that participants who delay their block proposals until later might earn more MEV, but there is a bit more risk into it that you miss the slot. And so if we look at Rocket Pool and Frax and Lido here, where's Rocket Pool? Hold on. I lost Rocket Pool. Oh, I got Rocket Pool already. And Frax. Okay,
right there, yeah.
Okay, I got it. So if we look at Rocket Pool, Lido, and Frax, we can see that there's a big variation in when the transactions, or at least the blocks, are how long they're in the slot. So we know that Frax has like the best setup and the most performant with the lowest latency, and that's shown here in the data. Almost every single block that Frax is including is under 1 second, which is pretty incredible, and they're getting very low amounts of missed slots. Compare that to something like Rocket Pool, where you have a lot more solo stakers and people with less performance setups. You get much more variation in how long the seconds in slot is for, and then also there's a lot more missed slots as well too, as the low latency of these solo stakers is unable to propagate their transactions in a quick amount of time. The real questions I had was that Lido doesn't have a ton of missed slots, but they have a very high amount of bids that are being selected at a later time in the block.
Looks like lots of MEV.
Exactly right. So the idea here with this timing is that the more time that you spend waiting to for the slot in the block, the more MEV that you can make. And so it's called like a timing game. And so the idea is that like more pools are going to engage in this like timing games, and it's actually kind of detrimental for the network overall because it increases latency. You get more missed slots, and so
now if you're Frax or Lido.
Yeah, exactly. So like Frax is the honest party here, and they're doing everything correctly.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
But then Sam, I gotta ask you then with Frax V2, where kind of anybody can come in and kind of do it. Are we gonna start looking like the other two here, or can we still
would probably
maintain...
look more like Rocket Pool because we'll have solo stakers on board.
Got it.
So I think the takeaway looking at this chart, and also we've seen there's another website where the Frax quality of the validators is like recorded, and there we have the best. The Frax validators are the best, and here we have the lowest amount of time in slot as well too, and also the least amount of missed slots as well too. We almost have 0 missed slots for Frax. So that just shows that like our APYs are going to be like really nice and steady over the long term.
Man, we need Ionic. Sorry, what Dave? What was his name again? Chung. The guy we did a pod with him on like DVT, distributed validator tech, and he was going to come in and basically Chunda. There you go. Yeah. Chunda needs to come in and give everybody a validator score right now.
Yeah, Chunda.
There's some great. This is quite a like heavy research topic. There's some great stuff in the Ethereum research forums about like the timing games that has been done. I read this yesterday, and I was kind of very technical, but at the same time like very enlightening. There's also some other papers like on this timing.pix down at the bottom. They have a bunch of like stuff you can read. I thought it was really interesting actually because it's a type of like MEV capture that I didn't know about because of latency.
This is deep nerd shit. I love it.
Yeah, exactly.
So the longer it takes, the more MEV they can have and the more profit they can attain.
Yeah, exactly. So think about it like this. If you go into the slot at the beginning of the block, like there's 3 more seconds where prices can move and you're missing out on MEV.
Makes sense. And that, the longer you wait, the more of these opportunities you can have. But another block producer or another validator can come in and fill that block, right? And then you kind of miss your shot there.
Yeah.
Is that the trade-off?
Yeah. So like the longer you wait to get it to like finalize the block, the more chance there is that you miss it. And then once you miss it, you get punished.
Yeah. So
you only have a short amount of time to like really capture the opportunity.
Yeah. Or you could get completely blocked out if you wait too long and be too greedy. So it's a very interesting game.
Yeah. I don't.
Seems like Frax and Light are pretty good at playing it.
It's kind of like a gamble, right? Like you're gambling with the overall yield of the LSD of whatever your validating services are by trying to play these timing games. And so you might actually get worse APRs, and you might increase the latency for the entire network itself, and cause like systemic breakdowns in critical functions. So it's kind of dangerous, but at the same time there might be extra yield in it. And so that's where I think that we might be seeing more of this over the next few months.
I feel like we'll reach equilibrium though at some point.
So here, I just had a really interesting thought that because of Frax ETH's dual token system and how we can basically control the yield coming into sFrax ETH, like Frax doesn't have to compete on the MEV front so much and wait for all these missed bids or missed slots, because we make it up with the APR on the other end, and all these other tokens can't do that.
Right.
So that that's why we can maintain a really really tight block time, as you can see on the.
It's not pure
chart.
MEV. It's other things.
Yeah, blended APR.
Blended APR monetary premium.
Yeah. We also published an article this week detailing the top 7 Frax products that are coming out this year. We talk about them a lot, so you guys probably know all of them. This would be, let's see, Fraxchain or Fraxtal, as the name is going to be called, in January 2021. BAM, which is also coming. Frax ETH v2. Let's see, the PYUSD integration as well too.
4
FXBs. 4, yeah, exactly. The FXBs, as well as the Arbitrum STIP program that's ongoing, and FraxGov, which is also ongoing in implementation as well too. So, the interesting thing about this is that are we at 6? Did I miss one?
No, it's 7.
No, you're good.
It's 7. Okay. The interesting thing is that all these product like releases are all kind of slated for Q1 or like early Q2. So like the later roadmap for the year is completely wide open at this point. And maybe it's a lot more focused on Fraxchain and Frax V2. So we'll see.
It's other projects, roadmaps.
Remember, multi-decade roadmap by Frax. So I feel like the second half of Frax in 2024 is focused on more fractals.
More fractals, exactly.
More fractals.
And potentially maybe some Fraxland updates as well too. So that's what we have to look forward to in Q1 and Q2.
We will find out at the end of the month, or at least at Eats Denver.
Yeah. Somebody's digging around in the fridge, Dave.
I know. Hey, is that NPC Christian?
$8.
You see him.
And we are at $8. Craziness.
It's $8. It's $8.
I mean, it's eight and a half. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Do you guys? Speaking of things I've noticed, did you guys see Crypto Lynn's tweet? It was like, Frax, 2023 is Frax's year. Now it's 2024. She quote tweeted herself, 2024 is Frax's year.
Yes, bullish.
Bullish.
Again, we are biased. This is not financial advice. Yes.
I have to concur with her that 2024 is Frax's year.
Exactly.
It's just, the thing is, we just need like a one-liner for Frax's narrative to get right, to get sticky in people's heads. Because last year it was getting sticky with the LSDs, and a lot of people that didn't know Frax, they bought into Frax, not financial advice, because it's like, oh, it's an LSD coin. And that was the thing at the beginning of last year. But now, like with all these L2s coming out and Fraxchain coming out, there's an opportunity to rewrite the Frax narrative. But how to rewrite this remains to be seen. I like the Apple of DeFi.
Yeah, I like the Apple too.
Where you can just, the root of it is the Frax ecosystem, the Frax system and Frax system of stablecoins. Put it into any chain and have that trustless anywhere. I think that's pretty powerful. So the Apple of stablecoins is the way to go.
Yeah, I think the L2 is going to really change things a lot. It's going to open up. I spoke with my friend Tarek this week, and he was like, "This is the year that everyone should be launching their L2. If you're not launching your own L2, like, are you even alive?"
Mm-hmm. It's like, are you launching a smart contract in 2016?
Well,
Same thing.
It just makes sense. I mean, let me bring this up because this is what we looked at. We looked at the Dune dashboard for like L2 revenue fees, and it's incredible. Like on a weekly basis, like Arbitrum's making like $1 million in profits.
$1 million?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, you know what I think is going to be a really catalyst to really push Frax over is when Blast launches in February, like next month, when there is a kind of like a proof use case for an L2 that is vertical focused. Like, I don't know what Blast is planned for, but I'd imagine it will be related to NFTs in some way. And it will be a nice re-rate of L2s that are not generalized, L2s that are focused for one vertical. For example, NFTs versus like DeFi. And I think that will start bringing more eyes onto Frax from there too.
All right, so check this out. This is roll-up profits for Base, Optimism, ZK Sync Era, Arbitrum, and Zora, right? So, like last week of December, like Arbitrum made $440,000 in just pure profit from running their L2. Base made $100,000 in profit. Like, think about how if on our Frax checks, like how much that adds if we're generating an extra $400,000 a week. $500,000 a week in L2 fees.
Bro, that will pay powerful for all the bribe incentives in the world.
And that's profit. That's not just like revenues. That's take home. That's what would be going back to VEFX holders, and we're about to enter into that era.
Yeah, but we definitely need to generate that demand for block space on the L2, right? So if you're a project out there looking to build on Fractal, come one, come all.
The combination of VEFXS and points that could mean something, quote unquote. I think it's a pretty powerful incentive.
VE points.
Points are powerful, guys. Points are powerful. So there was Captain Punk actually had some ideas on points that Sam gave some googly eyes for that I can pull up. So he says to introduce points first for season 1 of Fractal. So he thinks points should go out for borrowing and lending via Fraxlend. SFrax should get APR in Frax, but also get Frax points. Stake Frax ETH should get APR in Frax ETH, but also get Frax points. And then also maybe some points for like Frax Swap, providing liquidity. Frax Ferry might get some Frax points, or other things, other products that are in the Frax suite.
Mm.
Here's the one. This is actually the one that I found interesting, was that like they were asking about the DA solution for Fraxchain, and Sam said that they're potentially going to use something that's not Eigenlayer or Celestia near or
Fractal DA.
Fractal DA, is that a thing?
I mean, he's written that before.
Yeah. So if we like another DA that's built on top of Fractal could be pretty interesting.
Yeah, I think the whole idea behind Fraxchain and Fractal is that it's modular, so you can include any DA that you want. So if you want Eigen DA, or if you want Celestia DA, or if you want Fractal DA, that's up to you. The whole point of it is that you use the Frax system of stablecoins in the root of it. It's just like a little sliver of code, and then boom, you have the Frax ecosystem right there.
All right. So last thing for us to wrap up on is like, what do you guys think about the Ethena stablecoin?
I think it's cool. Good for them.
Yeah,
I think
they broke 100 million this week.
They have probably really good. They have good market makers. And they have Seraphim.
They have Seraphim, yeah. King of BD.
Yeah. I mean, first Euler, then Lido, and now Ethena. Like, I would not count against Seraphim. He knows how to talk to the institutions. Shout out Seraphim.
What do you think, Ed?
I'm not caught up on the Ethena thing, so you
I
have to
like
tell
his
me.
founder
How's
a
the
lot.
Mechanic?
No. I mean, I like the founder a lot because I remember I was talking to him earlier. Like, he's down to be collaborative and reach out, and so I like the way he's thinking. I like his mindset. I'm not sure how far that specific like model of stablecoin, like how high it can go in stablecoin market cap, but it reached 100 million, so they must be doing something right.
Yeah, he actually came into the Frax chat this week, so there was a big back and forth about Arthur Hayes and some of the stuff that Arthur was doing. Sam was saying that like Arthur didn't understand stablecoins, and they were talking about Ethena a little bit, and then Guy from Ethena came in and dropped in and just said that it looks a lot different than existing fiat stablecoins, but at the same time, they're trying to build something new. And he said that Athena's keen to work closely together with the Frax team and community, and hope they can provide an interesting pair asset with liquidity pools like USDE Frax and SUSDE SFrax. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, you gotta respect a founder that goes into the not their home Telegram or home Discord's group chat to defend themselves. So shout out to Ethena in that regard.
He also said there was going to be an airdrop as well too to FXS and Frax holders.
He did.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
at the end of this month.
Shoo. Well, all right then.
Well, that's all I got, guys.
And that was a lot, bro. So thank you for putting all that together. It's been quite a week. And this is the first week in 2024.
Yeah, it's interesting to seeing Fraxchain go from the application layer to the roll-up infrastructure layer, and I think that's going to define the rest of 2024.
Yeah.
Can we say re-rate? Can we get a re-rate here?
Re-rate. Yeah, we just got to figure out, one-liner narrative for Frax. We need to have the 3-3 of Frax.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll come
for those those boomers of 2021, because that's now old, being in 2024.
FXS to 100, 3-digit.
FX. Yeah, please. I pray. Not financial advice, but I pray.
Oh, very nice.
Well, that's it for this week. If you want to hear all our updates and all our alpha and all our praying, make sure you go ahead and hit that bell button. You hit that right now. You subscribe to our YouTube for all our latest updates. Leave us a comment. Give us a like. Do that right now. Follow us on all our social media at Flywheel DeFi on Twitter, TikTok, and Telegram. Make sure you subscribe to flywheeldefi.com for all our latest updates, emails. We're going to have a lot of fun content for 2024, so make sure you do that. Make sure you follow me on Twitter at DeFi Dave22.
You follow me at 0xcapital_K.
And I'm at traders_inside.
And we'll see you next week. Peace. Fractal 2024.
Hear your balloons.